I heard you were pretty good at it.
Oh, I wouldn't say pretty good, but
Is it an understatement?
very good, actually.
Okay. I heard the stories about your TOEIC and your
stories?
TEPS score. Mm-hmm. It's pretty well known amongst us.
Well known. I'm flattered.
So yeah, we are going to talk about how you got those kind of high scores and the way you study.
Okay.
And we're gonna find about what kind of life you lived a little bit.
Okay.
I know it could sound a little dramatic, but I'm just here to talk with you today. So, because we don't really get too much chance to talk to each other while we work, right? So, thanks for coming.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, say hi to the students and the parents. This is Anna from 280. So Canada, huh?
Yes.
So you lived in Canada as I did. How long have you lived there?
I've lived in Canada for 11 years, a little over 11 years actually.
11 years?
Yes.
That's a long time.
I know.
It was pretty different from living in Korea, was it?
That's true.
Right.
Very different actually.
Yeah.
Well, my homestay family was very big and serious on Halloween days. Yeah, Halloween was and is still my favorite day.
Okay.
So we'd go pumpkin patch and select the pumpkin we want to carve, and then we'd gather in the kitchen and start carving the pumpkin.
Well, that is actual it's like a cultural thing, because in Korea we just wear the costumes and
you party.
We do party, but in Canada it is like a family thing.
It is a very family oriented thing. The whole town will decorate their houses with fake webs and then fake lights.
True.
And it's just a beautiful, very fun day. Yeah. And I loved it.
Yeah. Well, because it's a different culture, I mean, they have the different holidays and events too.
Very
Korea,
true,
right?
yes.
What did you enjoy the most?
Well, there's the Easter and Christmas, but not of those, but Halloween.
Oh, Halloween
was my favorite and still is my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Day. Yeah.
Well, why?
Oh, well, actually, Well, I do like to dress up and doing the makeups, but our town and our family was very serious about Halloween decorations. So they would spend the whole month decorating their house with fake webs and lights and
Well, they do prepare Halloween pretty early, right?
They do.
Just like how we prepare Christmas pretty early.
Yeah, I mean, they do need to prepare a lot. It's a long process.
It's a family thing. Like in Korea, we put up a costume and we go partying a lot, but within Canada, it's more like a family.
It is. It's a family thing. It's a town thing. You go trick or treating to other families, and you get to learn about other families as well. So, and you talk to them too.
Right. Oh, okay. You've been through middle school and high school in Canada.
Yes.
And then later in the year, you did come back to Korea.
Yep.
For English major, right?
Yes.
In 한국외대, was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Hanguk University of Foreign Studies.
Okay.
Actually, that's a cool name.
That's a fancy name. But when you were young, back in Canada, wasn't it hard for you to study abroad?
When I came back to Korea?
No. Oh yeah, when you came back to Korea.
Well, yeah, because the education system and the whole atmosphere is very different.
Right.
Canadian education system is more liberal. They're more open to other options, whereas in Korea, they're very, very confined in a fixed guideline, I'd say, in a way. Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, mostly.
So it was hard for me to actually adapt to Korean education culture. But compared to high school and university, Korean university is less rigid compared to high school.
Did you have your personal adapting issues?
Actually, I didn't have that much. I made friends pretty quickly. And
what are the differences between Canadian and Korean schools? High schools, maybe?
High schools, not
Let's start
university.
from high schools.
Well, high schools, you guys have 이과 and 문과. Those are the separate, there's a barrier there.
Right. Well, not you guys. I didn't graduate high school in Korea.
Oh,
so
well.
I don't know much.
You guys know, right?
You guys know better, I guess.
So in Canada, you do have options as well, but it's not as like black and white.
Okay.
So for example, you can choose between French or Spanish.
Oh, okay.
And
second language.
And there's another option with fine arts versus band, which is music. And then there's the last option is history, geography versus biology, chemistry, and physics, which is a natural science and then more of a social science part.
Right. Well, I guess in that wise, it's a little similar to Korean high school because
that's true.
And
the last part is.
The last part is while still taking those kind of courses, you still have to do the fine arts and those kind of stuff. Weren't you?
Well, it depends on the grade because you can it's a mandatory up till the 10th grade. But after that, you have to choose.
Right, it's been a while for me. Like it's been a while.
Well, it's been a while for me too. Probably.
Again, now the memories are coming back.
All right.
I remember that I had mandatory courses that I had to take, and then there were courses that I can whatever I want to take.
Right. It varies between schools too.
Yeah. What were you into? What kind of subjects were you into?
I chose French because I was personally interested in art.
François.
Français.
Oui. How was it? How was learning French back then?
I was wrong. I should have learned Spanish. It was so hard.
I wasn't expecting that answer. It is pretty hard. I did try to learn that too.
I do love French. It's a beautiful language. It's just I can't pronounce that R like that. I cannot do. But Spanish is much easier. Like,
was it?
Yes, I'm actually studying it right now. But
okay.
The R sound I can do. Yeah.
Well, I think you already answered those questions, but you did say you didn't have much of an English barrier.
Well, not much. I did a little bit. It wasn't major.
Yeah, because I went to Canada when I was like 16.
Oh,
so
right.
I was already fully Koreanized. But I think I did start picking up a little faster when I start using English while I play basketball.
All right.
So because I had to communicate with my teammates.
That's true. That's very important when it comes to sports.
So because it was a thing that I liked, so I had to try harder in order to communicate with them a little better in English.
That's very true. I agree. You have to find what you like, what your passion is, and then try to connect it with the language. True. That will act as a synergy.
True. I think, did you have any of those kind of things too? What did you like to do in order to improve your English?
Well, I was a sports person. I did play in a volleyball team, but it didn't last long. I'm not gonna say why not, but but it didn't last long. But I still love to read. And I love to watch movies and TV series, so I watched those in English and had English subtitles. So I would pause it in between and then try to recite the sentence that I really liked.
I think that's one of the common practice that everyone did. That pretty much all the teachers that I've spoke to, when they were young, they tried similar things like this.
Right.
And they're all good at English now, apparently.
But you gotta be very careful in choosing which movie you're gonna learn from.
Because depending on the movies that you choose, it kind of decides how you speak the language for your life.
My first movie was Pirates of the Caribbean. That was a wrong choice, very wrong.
But you speak like a pirate, I guess. I also picked up my English from the movies too when I first started learning English. I'm not gonna say the name of the movie title.
I hope you chose the right one.
So the English that we use in Korea and the English that's spoken in abroad.
Yes.
It's a little different, right?
Yes, very different actually.
And they do focus on different parts.
They do. Right? They do.
Can you tell us the differences?
Well,
because you experienced both of it.
Yeah, I mean the kids and adults in Korea, although they do have a very good reading comprehension skills and listening.
Because they practice it a lot.
They've been practicing it for over a
long
decade.
Time,
so they do have a very proficient listening and reading ability, but their writing and speaking ability doesn't seem to reach that point. Is how I felt when I actually...
True. I mean, the comparing the speaking and writing.
Right.
Well, they do struggle a little bit because I think they spent less time on speaking and.
No, I mean. The college entrance exam, they don't have speaking part. They don't have writing part.
No.
That's why they don't focus on it in their teenage years. But they do need to practice it.
Why? Is it important?
It is if you want to use English in society.
Okay.
At work.
In society and work. Well, we learn this language because we have to use it later, and later when you actually have to use it, the ability that you use more is speaking and writing.
Right.
Right. Because I remember that you had some of those experiences.
Yes, I do.
Too. So what do they have to do in order to improve their speaking and writing?
Well, it's probably the same as a reading comprehension and listening. You have to practice. You have to keep writing, and then you have to, once again, find what you like, and then try to combine that into a pattern, and then make it into your own.
Yeah, it's because you don't live in English-speaking country.
No.
You gotta find other ways.
Yeah, it is a little difficult if you're not in such environment.
Yeah.
But you do need to find your own way that's very well adapted to your style.
Because I think the media, the watching movies and YouTube videos.
Reading books. YouTube is a good source. Actually.
Yeah, I mean nowadays since technology is so well developed, so you have access to a lot of things. So you should take advantage of it, as we already said it. So.
Yeah, listen to him.
I know things. Well, when I talk to you, finally it's here. We got to talk about your English test score, right?
Yes. Yes.
Look at that face. But she did get the perfect score on TOEIC.
That I did.
And she got such a high score. I think it was like 597 something on a TAPS.
597.
Okay.
Not something. 597 to be exact.
Okay, there was exact number.
Yeah.
TAPS. So that is pretty difficult.
It is.
How did you study for it?
Well, I mean, I can give you very conventional answers. Study from the book and just do a lot of the 기출 문제s.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the major differences between TOEIC and TAPS?
Well, TOEIC is a test that actually sees whether you have a very basic foundation of English as a foreign language.
Okay.
It doesn't go beyond that. So it's just the first phase of learning English as a language. But other tests like, for example, TEPS or TOEFL help you advance to the next level.
Because from what I've heard, I've never taken the TAPS, but I heard it's pretty hard.
It is, especially vocabularies and idioms.
Oh.
Yeah, and listening is a little advanced.
That's what I'm weak at too. Idioms and vocabs.
I mean, those things you need to study.
You do need to study.